Yes, very good evening to all of you. This is second last day of the track BA Agile Scrum, and uh, we have reached to the a position where we find that we are really confident enough. We have few new joinees together. So what we will do before we get started, what we will do, we will just welcome them. We have, I think, Sneha had joined last time when Radha started, and then just now, who I think is Disha. Disha has joined. Okay, so let me see whether she is part of this. So we have together. Okay, Disha has not joined yet. All right. So otherwise,
Hi, Gaurav. Good morning. Good
good
evening, guys.
good morning. So otherwise, we know everyone. So whenever Disha will join, that's okay. Let's get started. So once again, a very good evening, and today is the second last day, and I'm really thrilled to see the kind of activity went inside your document preparation. We will come to that point even at the end. So before we discuss that, let me start sharing my screen and let me show and share with you that what is there today on the table. So today we will be discussing few things, like few left out document and templates uh, formats, as well as we will learn today the healthcare, insurance and payment life cycle. And after that, in the very next session, what is going to happen, that also you will come to know today. So let's get started by looking at our core values. What is code of honor? And everyone out here, that why do we repeat every single time in every single session our code of honor? Code of honor is a kind of element, or kind of a shield that always is there with us if we are driving towards any path to complete. So today, and for every one of us, we have over here with one and only one intention behind joining this call. And who can remind me what is that intent, what is the objective behind joining this call?
Get
Getting
placed.
placed. To get placed.
Getting place, exactly. And it is quite easy that with the uh, passing day, we forget the core intent, and the objective and goal and the purpose get fade away. What exactly binds that very concrete and help you and us to get going is only the code of honor. And that's the reason we always repeat this to remind us, to remind each one of us. The very first one where we commit to mind by, abide by, is showing up live. Even if you can um, catch up on the recording, it is always encouraged to show up live, because here you practice three items, that is being on time, remaining punctual, and remaining highly committed to your work. Because this is just not mere a training, this is an experience you are sharing along with us. And by following this all, you are ready to follow the exact same traits once you get placed. And what will force you to abide by this? The universal law which says that how you do anything is how you do everything. And the second one is this. Second one is being the full stack student, because you are starting this journey by learning in the by following the very first pillar, that is the instructor led free training. And that is the reason you need to do all the assignment, doing self research, and repeat whatever you have learned so far. So that's the second code of honor. The third code of honor is the taking full responsibility. You will be amazed with the result, what it will yield when you will start following these two code of honor at least. And when the result will lead you towards the success, you must or you always would like to take the responsibility of that success. But by not doing so, it will also yield the result of failure, and you need to admit and acknowledge that failure so that you can correct that and take an action towards the success again. And if you'll see that, then this failure becomes a trail to that success. And the fourth one is very, very important. And the fourth one is having a strong mindset of positivity when you start with the learning mindset. And while these all are happening, you see that a few little bit of challenges, and still you going with complaint free mindset and loading yourself with the gratitude will be the power to push you towards gate going towards achieving your goal. Okay, so that's the reason these four types of mindset you must introspect whether you are increasing and inculcating every day. And to start this, you need to start receptivity at highest level. How do you how can you do that? By listening to the Stranger's Secret, an audio track which I recommend and I have shared with you already. And you are supposed to listen to this audio track at the start of the day every single day for 30 days. And in case you missed even a single day, you are requested to repeat, start listening for next 30 days, because this is one track which will also keep you pushing towards bringing the value at your work. How every single secret will be demystified in this Stranger Secret. So if you don't have this audio track yet and you are not listening, I would recommend ask me about this audio track and you will continue to listen. And the second one is this very, very interesting. It is called as when you are starting, then start your day or start your learning by following the golden triangle, a golden quadrant of the learning. And this golden quadrant says that start with the declaration. Means whenever you are getting into learning, you must declare. And when you have declared and learned, you draw whatever you have learned. And when you have drawn already, you need to come up with the summary, summarize that. And then that process, the complete golden quadrant of learning, makes your memory retaining all the information at least 99.99%. Okay, so because we are getting into the learning and the deep learning, what we are going to do, we are going to start with the declaration. What you see on the screen that I have selected. So can everyone see the mind map and the selected text area?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you so much for your responses. So at the count of three, what we are going to do is that we will set an anchor. And what is that anchor? How we will set that? So anchor will be the bodily anchor. And at the count of three, we will give a self high five. And self high five is nothing but a simple clap. Okay, that creates an anchor to your dendrite connection inside your brain for start retaining the more and more information. So the moment at the count of the moment I'll count three, you will give a self high five and repeat after me the selected statement. Okay, so are we all ready for this?
Yes.
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 Yes. So
Yes.
1, 2, 3 and go. I am a quick learner.
I am a quick learner.
I'm
What
quick
others
learner.
can learn and
Understand.
master,
What others can learn and master,
I too can do that.
I
I
too can
too
do
can
that.
can do that.
Do that.
And once again, I'll set again the anchor, that is the self fi at the count of three. And again, we'll read these selected string, these selected statement. And I would request all of you to again repeat after me. So 1, 2, 3 and anchor. Because I'm an awesome learner,
Because I'm an awesome learner,
today's learning is going to be super duper easy to me.
today's learning is going to be super
Learning
duper
is
easy.
going
Super
to be
easy to me.
super duper easy to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for declaring this. And it is going to be very, very easy for you today, because you have just now declared. And while we are getting into the learning, remember that learning gives the value. When it gives you the value, automatically it gives you the power to, add some more gems into it. When you continue to add value in your life, the value addition will start automatically, and money is just byproduct, because you have started adding value somewhere, okay, with your service. And when you are at the service, once you get placed, it means you have always started earning. And when you are earning, I request you personally to start thinking to give away something to the society. And when you will start giving away, that makes you more spiritually grounded, and that makes your intent a very, very stronger, that comes with the charity. And I personally do that, my students do that, you are requested to do that. In case whatever you earn out of that, you can give away and commit to give away 5% or 10% to special causes. What exactly happens, you must remember that when you give, you grow, and when you receive, that time you may survive. And that's the result. If you think that you are earning today, then you must start giving away 5% of your earning, and you will see that whatever you are giving, that is really giving you power to grow more for you. But don't start giving away with the intent to get more, but start giving away to inspire others more. So why to give away? Because these are the universal law. What goes around comes around. The more you give, the more you will grow. The more you receive, you may survive. So I hope everyone wants to grow over here. And when you are doing so, continue to appreciating what you do, what others do for you. And even something doesn't happen while you are doing something good for others, because every done good part in your life is preparing for good in your life, that as a next step. So and still you need to continue to appreciate, because what you appreciate appreciates you back. And while we have repeated our code of honor, I want every one of you to put your palm on your left side and at the chest, that is above your heart, and say along with me, I commit to follow my core values. I commit to
I
follow
commit
my
to follow my core
core
values.
values. Thank you so
Follow
much.
my core values.
Thank you so much for committing it. And here is what we are going to learn today. So we have seen so far user story, BRD document. So we started with the BRD document. We left over there. We took the responsibility that we will come together over here, and we will attempt to create one document. And we decided that we will go along with this business requirement document preparation. All of you worked as a team. So before I get into this and learn more about it, and we will talk about it, let's understand for today whatever is left out. Okay. And today we are going to learn about user story. So can someone tell me that what do you mean by user story?
Well, user story is the simplest form of how things would happen.
Thank you so much, Nadeem, for saying so. So anyone else would like to add something? Achita, Suchana, Benson.
Users.
We break the
Um,
task in a small part and write down as a user story. So
Okay.
development team can code that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Arshita. Good answer. Yes, Mike was trying to speak. Mike or Benson, someone.
it starts with an epic actually. The epic, if the epic cannot, it's broken down into user stories, smaller stories, and then it's phrased into uh, like a story form for
Yeah.
the technical team or the development team to work on uh, what the what the criteria of the job is basically.
Yes, very,
and
very well
then
said, Benson. Yeah.
we refine that story. If it's not resolved, we again make an like we make another story to break it down again.
True, very, very correct. So, thank you so much, Benson, for sharing. And everyone was right. Nadeem, you were right, and Benson, you were right. By the way, we have first time. Is it NC is for Nirupma? I guess no. So I'm little bit not sure.
Yes,
Is okay. Thank
yes.
you so much, Nirupma.
And
Yeah,
I have to add something for the user story.
I
Like
have what? What Suchana?
I want to add something for
Yeah,
the
yeah. Go
user.
ahead. Yes, Suchana, please.
Yeah, and there is a format for user story writing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Aj, uh, I want so that like that you have to write down in that format.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Sushana and Benson and Archita and Nadeem and everyone else for talking about this. So yes, what we are going to look at it and we are going to practice. Everyone, be ready with your pen and paper, and you will be given a little bit of time. What you see on the screen is nothing but this is a boost to practice. That we are going to practice one table. So this table is nothing from is try to weave back something from the banking, and it says that we have got three actors. One is branch manager, the second one is cashier, and third one is tailor. So are we clear who all are the actor before we get down creating a user story? And
Yes.
today we are going to work on a user story which is a part of a bigger goal of one project for a bank. Okay, and in that we have cash withdrawal facility, we have cash deposit facility, we have branch opening facility, and various 9 yards. So what we are going to do is that we will follow that these branch manager can view the customer details, can view the cash details, what one can withdraw, and can view the lockers availability against every customer. The cashier can view the customer detail. Also, cashier can receive the cash, and cashier can see whether he can open the locker. Tailor can view the customer detail. Tailor can receive the cash. Tailor can open the locker as well for the customer. So are we clear that we have three actors and three corresponding action for them, so that what they can perform as an action? So we are going to write just for one example for you, that as a branch manager, I should be able to view the customer. I should be able to view account details, so that I have the customer details access. Okay. So that is one. This is how we will be forming one user story for branch manager. Or uh, second will be like, as a branch manager, I have ability, I should be able to view the cash available for the customer. Okay, so the third will be as a branch manager, I should be able to view the customer details, so that I can find the locker assigned to the customer. So you saw that for branch manager, how I tried to formulate one user story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you
Yes.
so much. So please take a picture of this, and you are given 1 minute to complete the same for cashier as well as tailor. Okay,
Sure.
so we'll talk back again in a minute. And meanwhile, I am pausing the recording and will resume in a minute. So Prerna just now confirmed that yes, remember. So can you repeat, Prerna,
Yeah.
whatever you have just now said? Just
Coffee.
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
I was emphasizing that these three points which I've mentioned, those are very useful for everybody when you're writing or when you're working on a user story. So what are those? Those are these three simple WH questions which are like who, what, and why. So basically, you have to ask yourself that what is my role, who am I, and what am I working on, or what is the purpose, what I am supposed to do with it, or what I should be able to do with it, and why I am doing so. So these questions help you to understand and to shape your user story in a better way, because you have some concrete questions to work upon, right? So these are the like starting points for you to understand and to write your user story, which will give you a direction, and the overall user story will really shape up quite well. Because unless you can actually have, if you don't ask this question, then it could be little vague, or it won't make that sense. But if you know you're writing from whose point of view, what is the purpose of this user story, and why you're mentioning it, it will all make sense, and it will really turn out quite useful. Yes, Gaurav.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prerna, for adding up. So I want to invite now all of you, whoever has done. So please tell me how you have written that. So I see Nirupma on the screen at first. So Nirupma, can you at least read out the first one, the user story you tried writing?
And the first one I wrote is, as a cashier, I need to view the customer details so that I can receive the cash. I mean, I was just framing it.
Okay. Thank you, Nirupma. That's a brilliant, well attempted. So thank you so much. Nirupma, please nominate someone on the screen if you can see. So yeah.
Mehul?
Mehul. Yeah, Mehul. Could you please read out the another one if you have written any?
Yes.
Mhm.
Teller has viewed the customer details and is in a position to open the locker for that customer.
So what do you have written? Please follow the format. As an actor, I should be able to action so that outcome. So could you please
So
form in this way?
as a teller,
Mhm.
as a teller should be open to open a locker for the customer.
As a tailor, I should be open locker to the customer. Okay, fine, fine. Thank you so much, Mehul.
Okay.
So Mehul, nominate to someone on the screen if you can see.
Radha?
Radha, can you just read out whatever you have just now written? Radha, you
As a,
can hear. Yeah.
yeah. As a cashier, I can view the customer details and receive the cash.
Okay. So can you reread again what you said?
As a cashier,
Mm-hmm.
I can check the customer details,
Mm-hmm.
receive the cash from the
Okay.
customer.
So just for everyone, so here it is a very simple. We just wanted to follow this whatever it is mentioned over here in the table. Can you see table, Radha?
Yes.
It's a simple flow. As a cashier, you want to view customer details. That's it. As a cashier, I want to view the customer details. When you talk about the cash, that will try to form the another user story.
Okay. Yeah. I
Okay.
think I combined the two user stories.
No. We so thank you so much for combining it. And with this, everyone remember that we don't have to combine two user story ever in any project. Okay, you
Yeah.
remember now.
Mm-hmm.
So as much
Yes.
as possible we have to simplify and make a one user story intended towards the completion of one action. Okay, so that gives the easiness as a business analyst to every stakeholder to study that actions are simplified by business analyst. So it is your really core responsibility part. So quickly, rather just call out someone's name on the screen.
Sir,
Radha, quickly call out
Benson?
someone's name. Benson. So Benson, yes, please read out your first one. Benson, I think if you're talking on mute. We can't hear you.
Sorry. Here we go.
Yeah.
As a branch manager, I should be able to view the customer bank information so that I can access his cash account details.
Okay, again, you try to combine two things. First, you said that as a branch manager, you want to view the customer details. And again, you are telling that you can see the cash detail. So yeah, go ahead with only one. So we don't have to combine two. Okay. So only one action. View means view customer details. That's it. So Benson, call out someone's name on the screen, please.
Suchana.
Suchana, can you read out what you have written as a user story?
Okay. Yeah, Ajay.
Okay, you have not written. You can say that you have not written it. Otherwise,
Yes.
you need to read out.
Yes, Ajay, Taylor,
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to open
Mm-hmm.
a locker for the customer.
Okay, you need to open a locker for customer. Fine. Quickly, Suchana, for call out someone's name on the screen, please.
Archita?
Archita, quickly, you can just read out yourself. Unmute yourself and read out, please.
As a branch manager,
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to assign a locker so that customer get access to use that.
Okay. As a what you said, as a what?
Branch manager.
Manager, you want to open the locker for the customer, right?
Yes.
Assign the locker.
Assign the locker. Assign
Exactly.
the locker.
Fine. So open and assigning, that's fine. So you have also simplified it. So we are not going to everyone, but still I just want to ask Sneha, you want to give it a try? Whatever you have written.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll go for as a teller, I should be able to open, and I'm not sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
Open or deposit cash or belongings of a customer to a sign locker.
Okay, so you tried to make it, but it became little complicated. So you have to simply follow. As a tailor, I want to open a locker, you want to say, or as a tailor, I want to receive cash of the customer. Yeah. So this is what
I
you
also
mean.
table it's written open, so I wrote open.
So can you repeat what you said? As a tailor,
As a teller, I should be able to open.
mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm open cash or belongings of a customer to a sign locker.
Okay, no, so it became complicated. You tried to try to achieve three outcomes. So all these three outcomes will be categorized with 1, 2, 3. So as a tailor, I should be open. I should be able to open the account details. So or I should be able to open customer detail to see the cash balance with the customer. So that is one. Again, when you are talking about the locker, it will be like this. That as a tailor, I should be able to open or assign the locker to the customer, or should be able to see the open locker for the customer. So this is how it is. Okay. So one action, one intention. Is it clear now?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, so we will you will get more in detail of it once your track is getting started. That is on the coming Friday, especially for you, Sneha, Radha and Disha. So these three people will be there, and if anyone wants to repeat it. Okay, so Nadim, I know that you want to give a try, and Mehul, you also want to give a try. So quickly read out if it is very simple.
Yes, as a cashier, I should be able to open the locker so that the customer can access his belonging.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. So, Mehul, I think you are done, or you want to
Yeah,
leave?
I'm done. I'm
Okay.
done.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your contribution. So, BRD, you have worked upon it. So, we are getting into BRD, but let's complete few things quickly. So, but before we move further, Prerna, do you want to add something over here?
Yes, yes, I was about to ask you. Yeah. So, guys, I just want to highlight one point. BRD, as we say, it's a very, I would say, inclusive document where you are expected to mention all the important functionalities and what is the function or what is we are supposed to get from this project or application that you're working on. But at the same time, it is very easy to get carried away by mentioning unwanted, I would say, details. That is why, as Gaurav has rightly mentioned, we have to keep asking these three WH question, and the most important thing, we have to stick to the scope. This I am telling from my personal experience, where I have seen BAs and other analysts, mentioning some not so important or not so relevant line items or details in the BRD, which ultimately gets eliminated in the reviews. So I will just advise you, whenever you're working on BRDs, you need to focus on the scope, that what are the essential and important details that you have to focus on in detail and mention, and try to understand what all like some of the questions where Gaurav was saying, okay, this you have mixed two questions, or your approach has to be focused, like as a what actor, as a what participant. That all, it requires practice, and it is definitely you'll get there once you keep asking these questions to you from the context. When I say context, now we had the example of banking, operations or banking activities, and you were given a particular role, like as a cashier, as a vault manager, as a customer, whatever your role is. Keep asking these questions, because these questions will help you to be on track, and they will help you not to involve or not to include unnecessary details, which often happens while writing BRD, because it's a very big and all inclusive document. So just a tip or a note for you to ask these three questions and stick to the scope whenever you're working on BRD. That is for your assignment as well. Yeah, Gaurav, thank you.
Exactly.
Just
Thank
wanted
you
to
so
add.
much. Thank you so much. This is really valuable information, guys. So please remember it to follow. Thank you so much, Prerna. So let's move further. And now we are understanding requirement traceability matrix, because you are developing business requirement document, and from there you also write the functional requirement document or a specification requirement document. Based on that, it's test team. It's a testers who also parallelly create a requirement traceability matrix, where they identify every single requirement that you have mentioned in the requirement document. They identify the identification number from there. They track it in the new document, and against that requirement ID, they will also describe what that requirement ID explains. Okay, what exactly the description come, against that what the functionality they have to follow, and right now what is complete status of this particular functionality, whether it is working, or whether it is completed, work is completed, or whether it is yet to be started. What does it mean? Whether the functionality in the live environment or in the whatever environment it is functioning or not. So status they will write, and also they will write a reference to the design document, the name of that. Okay, name of that document. Also, if it's a reference is there somewhere in the technical specification document, they will also mention that, and the software modules which it will access. Say for example, if it is a calling from an API is nothing but is something, an interface that communicates between two layers of a software system to fetch some data into the system. Say for example, you went to some booking site hotel booking site or flight booking site, and you are about to type in the name of the city, and the moment few letters you entered, you see the list is dropped down, list appears, and now you have the easiness to select a city name instead of writing it completely from the drop down. Have you ever experienced it, such kind of event on any of the website, everyone? I'm asking each one of you. Do you want me to repeat?
Yeah, please repeat.
Okay, so what I am telling that whenever you have visited any website, it could be the flight website, flight booking website, hotel booking website, and you are thinking to go to destination. On that website, what you see that in the destination column, you start typing a destination name. You just entered few letters and you see that there a list appears as a drop down. Now you have ability to select from the list. You don't need to write the complete
Yes.
destination.
Yes.
We
So
have seen it
that
so many
list,
times, so many
yeah,
different websites. Yes.
exactly, and that list is called from API, and API is the interface that gives you this kind of feasibility and easiness. Okay, so that is why we need to mention the name of those API and those vault from where these these functionality are getting access. So you can definitely name the name of that, and also in software module if there is any specific name of that module. And again, so while these requirements are described, you will also write the test case written against it, and that test case will also have a test case number, and whether it is tested or not, and if it is tested, in what environment, so that you are going to mention. And this is how the requirement traceability matrix will be developed by the tester. But what business analyst will do, and they should, why they should know, because this document they require to be approved. This document may come to business analyst for approval purpose, and that's the reason they should know that what they have described in the requirement document. So this is all about the requirement requirement traceability matrix document. And then what is FRS FSD, we will get into detail of it. So in a BRD, the requirements are very high level. Okay, so whatever the scope, out of scope area, the estimations, everything will go in the business requirement document. It's all about business requirement. But when we get into the functional requirement specification or functional specification document, they are written in more details to capture each and every aspect of the requirement. Now, because BRD has been development, it can be a reference document for developing further functional requirement document. Okay, now a functional specification document becomes a more technical and accurate and descriptive requirement document. So initially when you gather requirement, you simply scribble it down on some a piece of paper or on whiteboard. If you are capturing using some tools, online tools, further you will just draft them in a bigger document in the business requirement document, then you convert that into the functional requirement document, getting more details. But understand, these have been the tradition. Okay, now by using the tools, we simplify every single thing. Even sometime you will see that few organizations don't even develop the functional requirement document or business requirement document. They directly, you know what they do? So any guesses over here? What they do? Nirupma, Nadeem, Radha, Archita, Sneha, Benson, and Sushna and Mehul. What they do?
Uh, they create a task or a user story.
Exactly. So thank you so much for answering in this way. They simply go to the tool and they create a one-liner task, one-liner user story, one-liner requirement ticket. So everything becomes the type of the ticket, and everything will be described there one by one by one by one. So imagine 200 lines from a documents are converted and simplified just in few tickets. Are you
Right.
following, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone,
Yes.
please
Yes.
say yes if you all are with me. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
So, Nirupma, are you able to get it as well?
Yes.
Thank you,
Can
Nirupma.
I rephrase what you said just to make sure that I understood it correctly?
Yeah. Go ahead, Nirupma.
So you said that a BRD is a very high level requirement, and to simplify that, to achieve them step by step, each of the activity is written as a user story, which is a ticket.
Exactly. That you understood well. Yeah. So what exactly happened? First step is a requirement gathering. And that becomes very informal. Then we get into, writing of the business requirement document and then functional requirement document. After stating this, I said that now these has been the tradition, and we now move to following in a tool to make everything as a part of ticket. And you said it right, Nirupma. So this is one. And the last thing is that owing to their technical nature, and FRS, FSD are equally used by developers, testers, and the business stakeholders for a project. So understand, at the same time, functional requirement document becomes really people now still who follow the tradition, they have more than 10 years, 12 years of experience. They still seek for such documents, whether it is available there in the organization or not. I remember that way back during 2004 and 5, I till 2006 or 7, I have seen people are printing 400 pages of functional requirement document, keeping there at desk to refer to it. Okay, so these has been tradition, but now everything has been digitized simply in one tool with one liner things. Okay, or maximum one paragraph things. That is a couple of lines. So yeah, this is what understanding of functional requirement specification document you should have. So Prerna, do you want to add something over here? If not, we can continue.
Yes, Gaurav. I was just want to highlight that things, as you mentioned, rightly mentioned, I would say, things have changed lately. And along with the scope and overall inclusiveness of BRDs, people have shifted to, smaller user stories or just case studies wherein they don't have the entire view of the BRD, but some of the points respective to their current work area, which is also absolutely fine. So the only focus we as a BA or we as a PM or Scrum Master should have is uh, the scope, the requirement, and the customer expectations, right? So because many a times what happens in the discussions and in the discussions with the stakeholders and the customers, you tend to move little away from what the customer wants because there are constant discussions going on. So it is always advisable that you have the discussions with the customers, what are their expectations and what they want, and then try to jot them down or try to mention them from the technical or from the analytical point of view. That is your input into that. So the bottom line of mentioning all this is whenever you're working on BRD or FSD, it has to be in a way that your development team or your technical team understand. That's absolutely right, but at the same time it should include everything that a customer has asked for. Okay, so that again revolves around the scope and the requirement, and this is, I think, the go-to mantra for writing any FSD or BRD. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So any question around this functional requirement document and specification document? Anyone?
Well,
Nadeem,
what
yeah.
I understood in that functional requirement document is actually being replaced in the recent softwares into user stories and the smaller tasks. So there is no detailed document being made as such, or as it used to be, but now they just break down into simple tasks to make it simplified for everybody.
Exactly, Nadeem. So earlier, this used to be, bottleneck in the industry. People were never used to, proceed further because they didn't have the handy document. So yes,
Right.
you understood it right.
Okay.
So any
Gaurav, I
other
just want
question?
to highlight there is some echo I feel.
Yeah.
So if somebody is
Yeah,
on
we
two
we feel that
devices,
too.
yeah, they can mute themselves when they're not talking. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So you can unmute and speak up if you have anything. Else you can mute yourself. So okay. So we'll move further. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is, oh, wait a second. Yeah. So you can definitely unmute yourself once you are coming to speak up. So yeah, we are done with this functional requirement document. Some more thing about the system requirement specification document. This is a detailed document containing information about how the complete system has to function and enumerates hardware, software, functional, and behavioral requirement of the system. And this document elaborates on the requirement from the perspective of observational behavior only and does not consider technical or design bias. So understand this is a system requirement specification document. So this is more towards the configuration of hardware, software, and the functionality and the behavior of the system, what all the system it is connected to your software is. So the more technical it will go, it becomes the architect's responsibility to create this document more in detail. Again, this has followed the same trend what BRD and has been now converted completely, as Nadeem said, that in user story form with the intent to simplify the things. Are we good and clear with this as well? System requirement specific document, how it has been transformed into a ticket now. Yeah. So this used to be also a means a task to create a specific requirement document and they move forward. Now even this can be converted into tickets and then the development team can follow. When I say development team, I mean to say Scrum team. For new people, Radha and Sneha and Disha, we will come to know about it more in details in the from Friday session onwards. Yeah, any question around it?
Yeah, is there any example of this?
Example as in, okay, so as I gave you the example of a drop down from a booking site, so this has been called out from some database. So how this database will look like, what all the table content that database will have, on what click it will access through database, even its diagram will be mentioned in the specification requirement document, or in fact the system requirement document. Here in this document you will talk more in detail about that system requirement document, what all the communication layer will be there. Even those tables are fetching some records on the front end of the system. It will also talk about how the layering of the interface has been and how it is communicating, if some messaging services are involved. So more detailed technical stuff, so those things will be also written by technical architect or someone. Okay, Suchna, did I answer you?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
thank
So this is more towards the tech system oriented. Okay, here you more talk about the system. So yes, so let's move to this test case. So test cases, you should know that for every scenario, for every user story, there will be one test case that will include its identification number and the description. But to follow that, what should be the precondition that comes in the prerequisite? Are you going to supply any specific data to test it? Say for example, to test that drop down is listed, you just type what SCO, and the moment you type SCO, so all the name of the city starting with the SCO will be listed. Okay, so what data you want to supply? So in test data, it will be SEO. Then test step. So what all the steps will be followed to achieve that? Then what you are expecting after completing the final step, that will come in the expected result. And when you will write it down, your test cases are ready. But to test whether it has been worked, then you also write the actual result, the current status, whether any discrepancy is there, then you have reported a defect. Then if you have reported a defect, it becomes failed. And if you have not reported a defect, but you attach the proof of it that it is working fine, it becomes pass. Any remarks you want to add for that scenario, you can. And then you also mention the environment in which it was tested. So why you should be knowing? Because even sometimes test cases comes to you for approval. Do you follow everyone what I am telling? Archita, Benson, Mike, Suchana, Nirupma,
Test
Radha.
case, yes. So this test case we have to write in a
No,
format.
no, no, no. You don't have to write. You should be aware that these test cases are written by testers. But yeah, you should be aware of it, because sometimes you can give the input to the testers that you have missed on or something. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to add here, Gaurav,
Yeah.
why you should be aware of the test case, in whatever say components, or how the test case is prepared, or whatever else, important details, is because many a times, as a business analyst, you are, considered a part of application testing before handling it over to the customer. Because as you have prepared the FSD, BRD, you have had discussions with the customer, it is expected that you have a better idea of the functionality of the application. Then that is why, if the testing team or testing lead hands over the test cases to you, you should be able to, and you should be able to understand how they have written, and you can perform testing. I'm telling this is all scenario based, or organization, depends on organization. Not all the BAs perform testing, but many a times it's an add-on value, that because you're an expert on the subject or on their application understanding, you can be requested to. That is why understanding test cases is a, another feather in your cap for the role of P. Because it's generally, it happens like, you can say chances are 40-60 that you can be asked, and it's a good practice to actually test, get the application or product tested by the BAs, because that gives a total holistic, understanding that okay, the functionality is working fine as per it was documented in FSD and BRD. Yeah. Any doubts on this? Do you understand what I was trying to explain on this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you
Gaurav,
for
over to
your
you.
yeses. Yeah. So we are now transitioning in a very crucial thing, which we want to understand as a this thing, what you call, life cycle. So life cycle of certain domains. So we are starting with payment clearance. We will understand the life cycle of the payment industry as well. We will talk about health. Anyone has the finance background over here? Okay, no problem. But still, you will be able to understand it easily. Have you ever tried to deposit some amount for someone and got a confirmation from the other person, that he has received the amount?
Yes.
Yes.
And has it also happened to you that someone deposits some amount and you happen to withdraw that amount and you confirm to other party that, hey, I have received the amount?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. But when you do so, what exactly happens in the background? We need to understand over here, so that we understand the complete life cycle. So understand that your bank, from where you are depositing the money, and the recipient's bank where he is receiving the amount. So those are two different banks. And do you know that these two different banks will also hold their bank account in one central place? Are you aware of it? Like, you have a bank.
Yes.
you have an account in a bank. In the similar manner, that bank has an account at a central place in the central bank. Okay,
Yes.
so in some city everywhere is the different names. So in the USA, it's the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay, and the system they follow is called as a Federal Reserve System. So what exactly happened? Say for example, you are the customer and you request $1 million, okay, in the account at your bank, and your bank is known as Bank A. Understand this system now over here. This is Bank A, this is Bank B. Okay, your party who want to receive is at this end and you are at this end, and you are
Very sorry to interrupt, but there is somebody unmuted and there's a lot of echo happening.
okay.
Yeah, we could hear that. It looks like some radio is on.
So can we all go on mute for now?
Okay.
And when I'll ask, please unmute, then you can speak up. So I think the echo has gone, right? So thank you so much. Prerna, echo has gone, right?
Yes, yes. I was just checking that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you so much for muting yourself. Understand you are the depositor and you are, your name is as a customer A. So you request $1 million in a depository account at your bank A to be transferred to your friend. His name is B, customer B. And it has account located in the bank B at another depository institution, and these banks are also known as financial institution. So what exactly happens? Customer A, um, customer A is debited with $1 million in his bank account the moment he requests to transfer the amount to his friend of bank B. So what exactly happened? Bank A transferred the $1 million for customer A by sending a very closely, remember this, very closely listen what I'm going to say. So I'm going to say is that Bank A transfer $1 million for a customer A by sending a message over Fed wire authorizing the Federal Reserve to electronically debt the bank A. So what he sends, does he send the money physically? Can someone unmute and
No.
tell me?
No.
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 He sends a message. He does not or she does not send send money. Thank you so much for your answers. Yes, you can mute now. So here what just now I sent that I said that it sends the message over Fed wire authorizing the Federal Reserve to electronically debit Bank A's account at the Reserve Bank for $1 million and to transfer that $1 million to Bank B's account. Okay, so when this Bank A sends the message, and take a note of it, there are different types of message, and those are known as known with some identity. Those message are sometimes called as Swift messages, ACH messages, Nacha messages. So these are the name, these are the way of transferring a message from one bank to another bank. So mostly for any payment processing, these messages are called as Swift messages. These are very simply written messages at the back end. To know more about it, you can learn and Google Swift messages, different types of Swift messages, what they do. Okay, they have got the numbers Swift 921, Swift 922, something like that. So there are multiple such messages. So what exactly happens? Bank A, after sending the message, debit $1 million, okay, and then transfer the credit and sends the message to credit into the Bank B. So once the payment of $1 million is credited to Bank B's account, Are you following whatever I'm telling? So you can just type into the chat window, or you can show me thumbs up, or just uh, raise an emoji. Yeah. So I hope everyone is following over here. So what exactly happened? Once the payment of $1 million is credited to bank B's account, the Fed wire fund transfer is completed. Okay. So this wire transfer is called as financial wire transfer, also known as Fed wire transfer. Okay. So for most fund transfer uh, involving online depository institution, the time that elapses between when a fund transfer message is sent and when a payment is received is a matter of just seconds. Okay, because it is nothing of the physical movement of money, it is just messaging services. So sometime it becomes really easy to receive the money at other end, because message has been transferred and the bank is holding the account with the Federal Reserve System, and from that holding account it has to be tagged or credited to bank B's customer account as well. So once the Fed wire transaction is completed, bank B makes the designated $1 million payable and available to customer B on the payment on the day of the payment that occurs. So if it is a working day, that day bank B will be able to see that. So did you understand what all got involved? It's a sender, it is a receiver. Sender will have a bank account with his bank, and sender's bank will have an account with the Federal Reserve System. Always remember, the central bank or the means core bank, which is over here in the USA and America, is Federal Reserve System, that plays a really key role. So that's how the payment life cycle is. I want to ask, unmute yourself, you have, if any question. Any question, guys? If
No
not,
questions.
then
No.
I'll move further. Okay, thank you so much. So now let's understand the healthcare industry. So we are done with payment and the banking. Now healthcare industry will always introduce one product. Okay, so the moment they will introduce one product, say for example vaccination A for COVID, okay, that becomes the introduction. Then they start growing in the market. The moment they start growing the market, they reach a maturity point where it will start seeing the competition, and the more the competition will arrive, the revenue will start falling back, following for the new introduced product in the healthcare industry. And thereby there will a point come where it will start declining from the market. They may find that their competitives are so much that they may or they have started seeing the decline phase as well. So they choose to move into the new variant. They choose to move to a new version or totally a new product. Their focus totally move to. So it undergo, every healthcare product will undergo these four phases. The very first phase is called as the introduction, then it gradually grows, then it reaches to a stagnant point, which we call it as a maturity, and then it gets to self-destruction mode, we also call it as a decline. So or it stays back at the stagnative mode. So that's how all in the healthcare industry. Do you have any question about the healthcare product, how its life cycle is? It's a very simple introduction. It grows in the market, it gets matured, and it experiences a decline as well with the competition. So if not, we have come to this policy life cycle. So how many of you have got a policy for yourself or your spouse or for your kids or for your vehicle or for your home? Okay, Suchana has, I believe that you can raise your virtual hand. Okay, Mehul has. So I believe everyone would have. Nadeem has. So Thank you so much. So everyone has, Sneha has, Nadeem has, Mike has, everyone has, I believe so. So understand what exactly happened. So before your policy comes into the existence, everyone has got insured. So what exactly happened inside the system? Your quotation is created. Okay. So that quotation is submitted, but before even it is submitted, it is created, and it captures your all the details, including your address information. Address becomes very, very vital, because why it becomes very vital, why it is very important for a uh, person address to be recorded into the system. Why it is important for vehicles address or location to be recorded into the system? Because that address could be the risk prone area. Okay, that may have the more risk towards your life, or your property life, or your vehicle's life. Okay, based on that, the policy premium changes. Now give me a confirmation with thumbs up if you get my point, what exactly I want to say. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Let me see. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for your confirmation. Let's move back to screen share and see this. All right. So now what exactly happens based on these general information, applicants details and address detail, in the back end, the rating engine comes. Rating engine that calculates the complete rate of a policy and then gives a final premium. But before that happens, the court undergo various stages, which is called as pending policy status or issue quote status. And once it is issued, it becomes active quotation. And once the active quotation is bound, it is completed, it changes its status to the issued. Okay, it becomes the issued policy. So that is the phase for any new policy. First it becomes the quote is initiated, quote is created, and quote can be in the pending mode, and after pending it becomes the active mode. So quote, active, then issued, and the bound, or quote, active, bound, and the issued. Okay, so this is for a new quote. Now every quotation will also undergo the billing life cycle. Okay, so billing life cycle, from where the payment to the insurance institution will happen. So for that, even account information will be captured in the system. It could be to make the payment for the next renewal period as well. Now, any quotation or policy once created, and at the later stage you remember or you realize that you need to amend or some information into your account, or your spouse's account, or your property account, or your vehicles account. So you can do that, and that activity is called as endorsement. And even endorsement, when you will start editing that your account, it undergo various stages. First, before endorsing it, remain what it remain in draft mode, which is also called as pending, and then it becomes active once the endorsement gets completed. Endorsement can also happen with the dates. Say for example, instead of 1 year or 1.5 years, you decide you will go for 3 months only. It also depends upon the insurance agency whether they have this feasibility to give you 3 months of the policy of any property or life or vehicle. So that comes under the active phase, and once it is active and payment is done, then it gets into issued mode as well. And the same will happen with the renewal, and the same will happen when you renew a policy. The same will happen when you feel like canceling a policy. It will also get into draft mode or pending mode or active mode and then issued mode and then bound mode. And the same will happen when you realize to restart a cancelled policy once again. So you see that once quote is there, so once quote is done, it is called as a policy. So once policy is done, you can endorse that. Once you can endorse that, you can endorse at any point of time. Policy can be renewed as well, a policy can be cancelled as well, and policy can be reinitiated as well, which also called as reinstate. So now understand, if any policy is reinstated, means restarted, do you think in future it can be renewed? Can you give me some answers, guys? Yeah.
Yes.
If it's
Yeah. So it can be renewed. All right. So if it can be renewed, then can you tell me, if a policy is renewed in future, can it be cancelled as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Nadeem. So if it can be cancelled, do you think that it can be reinstated as well?
Yes.
Okay. And if it can be reinstated, can it be endorsed as well?
Yes.
Thank you, Nadeem. And if it can be endorsed, tell me that can it be further renewed and cancelled as well?
Yes.
And let me ask you this thing, if it is cancelled, do you think it can be endorsed as well?
No.
No. Thank you so much for your understanding. You were absolutely right. It cannot be endorsed once it is cancelled. Only
Right.
cancelled can be reinstated. Remember this.
Reinstated.
Yeah. But renewal and new policy can undergo endorsement phase, cancellation phase, and again, renewal can have, what do you call, another renewal phase as well. So if you don't have any question, I understand that you have understood the various phases of a policy life cycle and its states as well. Okay. So policy renewal I have covered. Now claim in itself is a very vast subject in the insurance sector, but for claim, you need to capture the loss notice is very, very important. So why do we do report a claim? Because if any losses has occurred in the life of a person or a property or a vehicle, it has to be taken into consideration to capture the loss. Okay. So once in the system you are mentioning the notice of the loss, you will also add the claimant. Okay. And what all the feature or coverages are there against which the claim is being reported. Okay. And then transaction will be put down into the system for its approval, and then thereby the payment reversal will also happen, or payment will be made to the person or your account, whatever the account information has been added or assigned to the policy holder. Okay. Are we clear on this policy life cycle? To make it very simple or easy, the life cycle is as first, a policy will undergo these stages. It becomes quote, then it becomes new policy, then it can be endorsed, then it can be renewed, or it can be cancelled, and then it can be reinstated, and even it can be renewed as well. But all these things, quotation, new policy, endorsed policy, cancelled policy, reinstate policy, or renewed policy, will be first in draft mode, which we call it as a pending state, and then it becomes active mode, and then it becomes uh, new policy or issued mode, and then it becomes in the bound mode. Depending upon the country to country, sometime it is also called becomes before active, it is also also undergo submitted status. Okay, depending upon the country to country, before coming to issued or bound, it also interchanges. In some country, bound comes first and then issued comes later. Okay, so these understanding you always have, you always have to have, you must have. Okay, that every single policy which I have talked, renewed policy or endorsed or cancelled or reinstated or a new policy, will have to undergo these states. So the name just now I talked in front of you, new, renewed, or cancelled or endorsed or reinstated, these are the phases of policy. And quote, submit, active, bound and issued, these are the states of those policy. Are we clear on this? So for remembering it, what you can do is that you can go ahead, go back and listen to this recording again in detail, and you can draw a wonderful drawing for your understanding. So information has not to be drawn, the understanding has to be drawn. So any question till over here, now you have time, you can unmute yourself and ask me any question if you have anything around it, guys.
So why we're going to understand this one? Like, what is the use of our?
Very good question, Suchana. So Suchana, what is going to happen tomorrow once you will get placed in the IT? Okay, so IT can be the section of any insurance industry. Okay, so even banking has got IT, insurance sector has got IT, utility has got IT, hotel industry, hospitality industry has got IT. In fact, everywhere IT is there. So once you know how bank works, how a payment information flows, how an insurance information flow. So tomorrow, if you become the part of, say, for example, Avaya, IT cell of Avaya, or IT sector of Avaya, you are aware now how this data will flow. Okay, so these understanding will help you to act properly as business analyst or scrum master. Okay, so understand in this way, whatever you do, or even real estate will have the IT sector. So every single, what you see, even what aviation industry will have the IT sector. Why? Because everywhere IT has been placed in every single sector. So you may be directly called in a bank to work upon, but you should be knowing that, okay, banking also comes with insurance. And when it comes with the insurance, you should be knowing the insurance product. You should be knowing that how the things are involved in the insurance, how people are involved in the insurance, how what all the documents will be there in the insurance industry. Are you following me, Suchana? Are you
Yes.
getting little bit clarity why it is necessary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Any other question, guys? We have learned life cycle for insurance. We have learned life cycle for healthcare. We have learned life cycle of what? Payment. So any question, Nirupma, Nadeem, Radha, Archita, Benson, Mehul, or Sneha. So your silence will be no. And if you want to say, you can unmute. Okay, so I consider it as no. Thank you so much. So let me move and tell you a few things. We are good with this. Prerna, do you want to add something before we move to another part of this?
No, I think we are good. You have given an in detailed understanding of all these processes from different domains. I think my only request to them is to rewatch these videos and try to grasp these, because these are very important functionalities and are very interesting and very highly demanded domains. So having this knowledge which you have shared in this session will be definitely very useful for them from interview point of view and from overall work point of view. Yes.
Yeah. So few information about the homework, what you have to do. So again, continue to start now getting invested into RRP session, we have to come to end of your track. Only one track, 1 day of information is remaining, and that too is completely fun. That is going to be a completely, workshop kind of thing. What do you need to do? I'm coming to that. But also, I have this information for you. Every single of you, start attending RRP session every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay. And start getting into the makeover of your LinkedIn profile and your, what do you call, your resume preparation. We will be doing one maybe tomorrow with Mehul, where we will be scanning her profile tomorrow, because we have almost come to the end of the batch 6 track. And you are being the part of RRP session, also make sure the moment your resume is well prepared, you are coming for the mock interview preparation as well, because now you will start getting placed. So for that, you need to be very well prepared to crack the interviews. How to do that, how you can expedite it. So for that, you being the part of RRP session is also compulsory, and you be in touch with both of us, Prerna as well as Gaurav. So, and while you are doing this all, always remember to follow those rituals what I have requested. That has given the power, and that has given the result in the past, and that's the reason I keep on requesting you all. So that is the second thing. Third thing is that when you are coming back next day, that is on Sunday night, you should come with two things. One thing, everyone will have their account in Trello. Okay, Trello is a tool, trello.com. Okay, so we are going to do a workshop online to achieve that on Trello. So have you taken the name of this tool? It's a Trello. So
Yes.
so everyone will have the trial version of profile ready. It is just in a day's time. So we will be doing activity in Trello. That is number one. Number two, if you are connecting from a place where it is night right now, or whenever the session started, I want you to remember a location where it will be day. Okay, when you will be connected next, it should be a day in the city I want you to know. And that city you should have visited in the past. Okay, or you should be well versed with the roads of that city. So if it is needed, you can give us a complete virtual ride of the city, uh, straight from your laptop, from your PC, in the Google Maps. Is it clear? Two
Yes.
things: Trello as well as your favorite city, where you think that you can be the guide for us, and you will be giving us a virtual guide, giving us a virtual, tour through your laptop in Google Map. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now, thank you so much. So this is the information for the Sunday session. Now, another very interesting information. I have been observing that people are really getting engaged and attracted towards, business analyst role. Now, I want you, after understanding the Scrum Master role, I want you to start applying for the Scrum Master role as well, because you are now well ready. Okay, add some additional information and start thinking that in case any opening is there, you are following that for Scrum Master. I'll be sending a voice note as well to wake up the other guys from business analyst track 5 or 4 or 3 2 1. I should not be waking you up. So remember this, you need to get going until you get placed. Okay, so that is one. Now, the final thing coming back. So is our BRD document preparation task is done?
Yes.
Thank you, Nadeem.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So how was the coordination all over? Nadeem, since I was talking to you, you spoke first. Tell me your experience of creating the, creating this BRD document. What happened?
Well, it was, we started well, and it was interesting. but I believe since it was our first experience, we did not follow the guidelines. Actually, we should have followed, and we assigned everybody the same tasks. So everybody was doing the same thing, and but eventually, in the next session, we improved and did a lot better. And I believe, I'm grateful for all the ladies. They did most of the work in the end. We just got carried away with our, um,
Okay.
engagement. Yeah.
Thanks, Nadeem. Tell me,
It was
and
a
in
wonderful
this
experience.
entire process, what did you learn? One thing.
But I learned that I can do it.
You learned that you can do it. Do you know this is the confidence in itself? If you come back and backed by this confidence that you can do it, do you think that you can achieve the battle half done?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you think that everyone, when they are backed by this learning, they can also achieve that?
Yes. Yes,
Do
they
you
can.
agree? And this
Yes.
particular thought of a can do will also be able to empower those people who are not sitting inside this session. Even that can empower them as well. Do you think
Yes.
so?
Yes.
And understand, this is a very valuable insight. As a business analyst, you need to withdraw these information even from your client, like you have just now withdrawn your learning today. Thank you so much, Nadeem, for sharing this. Call out someone's name on the screen.
Let's start with Radha.
Radha, tell me what happened when you took this project of creating just one line. What happened?
Yeah, I learned how could we gather the information, any project, and how we can analyze and how can we, uh, I mean, improvises. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much. You learned analyzing, how to analyze and how to improvise. Thank you so much for sharing. Can we have a round of applause? You can unmute and you can really encourage your mates to by applauding yourself. Radha, call out someone's name.
Sneha?
Sneha, tell me what happened. What did you learn?
Hi, Radha. Well, thanks for choosing me. Well, sir, it's like it's an very nice, very nice exercise. But we had our hiccups initially, and we overcame it.
Wow. So hiccups will
So,
be there. Any project will have the hiccups. Any
yes,
project will have the resistance. And as a team, you have to overcome. Do you think this
and
is very important lesson, Sneha?
yes, sir. I think that it's
Yeah.
this is all a maiden BRD for all of us,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of the team they really did. They are very they cooperated so well. Everybody came out with a suggestion, reviewing, and everything. And there must be some mistakes, I know, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody put on their best for forward.
Yes. Yes. So after all, trusting your team is the key over here, right, Sneha?
Yes, sir. Uh,
Okay.
Team did
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah. So do you think this is a very important lesson for every team member, even teams who are not available over here? It's all about the collaboration, coordination, and trusting them. Yep.
Yes, sir. It
Thank you so
is.
much,
It is
Sneha,
like that.
for sharing this
Mhm.
valuable lesson. Can we have a round of applause for Sneha too? Sneha, choose a participant on the screen.
Thank you. Um, I guess.
Quickly, just call out any name.
Okay, yeah. Suchna.
Suchna, one thing which you think is very, very valuable was the learning for you.
Thank you. So yeah, we did it with the team effort,
Mhm.
and we all
What did
lost
you learn?
sunlight. And pardon?
What did you learn in this
Oh,
entire process?
I learned like everybody was so much like into it, and oh sorry, I what I learned. Okay,
When these
I
all
can
things
do
was
it.
happening, what did you
Yeah,
learn?
yeah. So whenever I try to ask something, or I like everybody was coordinated very well. And so I think working with the team is a fun.
Hmm. This is very important learning. The moment it seeds in your thought that working with team is a fun, in any team, you are readily relaxed and ready to, thrive and ready to contribute. Thank you so much, Suchana, for this important lesson, which you have learned personally, that working in team is always fun. Thank you so much. Let's have a round of applause for Suchana. Suchana, just call out one name, please, on the screen.
Benson.
Benson, what did you learn one thing?
I learned how to write a BRD document.
Okay, what that we all learned together. But while these all things are happening, okay,
Uh,
whatever happened, what one thing you learned personally?
so I learned to be the Scrum Master of this team actually.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
the
so
only the hiccups that they're talking about is basically the first day when we had to come and make a time where we could meet, and then we did the process flow diagram. So that's where we all did a process flow diagram. But after that, the next day we decided to give two topics each to everybody. Like we made teams,
mhm.
two ladies each, and then I was with Nadeem, and then somehow I was working and then couldn't get the time right last night. But then I fixed the whole BRD document in the morning, and then it was all done by the time it was like about 1 o'clock this
Okay, tell
afternoon.
me now, why could
But
you finish that? Why could you do that? Why could you complete that last night?
because we bifurcated the topics, the contents of
Okay,
the BRD document,
because you
and gave it.
bifurcated the topics. And why did you bifurcated that?
It's because we wanted to work as a team and then share everybody's inputs into the document, and everybody learns and puts their own input.
Okay, so by bifurcating that, what did you feel? What did you experience?
I felt everybody
About
did
you,
their
I'm
task.
asking about you. What did you
Oh,
feel?
me, I feel really great because the way they came up to what we basically wanted them to uh, come and deliver, that's what happened.
Wow. So by bifurcating the things, you reach what you expected to reach. Do you
Right,
understand this, Benson?
right.
And do you think this could be a lesson that bifurcation of a large task is the key?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this lesson by through discussion. And I think this is what the Scrum Master has to do. So this was your learning that how to be a Scrum Master. Great learning. Thank you so much, Benson, for sharing. Let's have a round of applause for Benson. Benson, call out someone's name, please.
Thank you so much. Mehul.
Mehul, what was one thing that did you learn during entire process?
I what I learned, after studying the way the whole BRD business requirement document was uh, prepared with the team effort, that uh, I mean, there is there's a lot that goes into this document. So the writing the business requirements and adding them to a business requirements document, I don't think it should be a big challenge from now on, because I think we learned a lot as a team. And after going through everything from step by step, we know we cannot miss out on the important requirements to prepare this document. So in all, I think the collaboration was excellent. A lot of brainstorming took place among ourselves. And I think finally,
Oh, okay, tell me this. Why did the brainstorming happen?
the brainstorming happened because we had we had a task to achieve, and the task we could only achieve by some personal individual research on topics and
Okay,
sharing the
and why
information
the
among.
task was given to you to achieve?
The task was given because to make sure that we can handle the task, make sure we can create a document, which will be our main task once we are hired as a Scrum Master or a business analyst.
Okay, and this entire process of when you know that these are the tasks so that we can achieve this. So what did you learn? One thing.
It is doable.
Wow, that's really key one. So
It
it's
is doable.
doable. Any project is doable, and this is the key learning, guys. This is very, very valuable. And do you think that the moment you start thinking in this way, that is doable, you end up doing that? Yes?
Yes,
I wanted to add
absolutely.
into that because we wanted to review this today. That's why
Uh,
we wanted to be doable for Friday.
yeah. So when you have a deadline, when you have a target, you make it happen. Thank you so much, Mehul and Benson, for sharing your learning,
Thank
Mehul.
you.
So have a round of applause for Mehul. Mehul, please add someone's name on the screen, you see.
Nirupama?
Nirupma. So Nirupma, what did you learn in this entire process? Did you speak up?
Not yet.
Okay. Yes, Nirupma. So what was
Uh,
your experience?
the process of creating the BRD was very interesting for me because I think not just for the business, but I think every problem can be solved with that clarity. So it kind of gave a lot of clarity onto what we were trying to do when we were breaking up it into elements. And what I was also feeling is that, having a very common goal is very essential for the team. And then the team works very effectively when everybody is following the same goal. And so it felt me diagrammatically, if I had to represent it, it was like one head and 10 hands and 10 legs. So it was like everybody's head is in the same place, but we're all doing different tasks towards the same goal. So that kind of is the vibe I got while doing the BRD.
Wow, very wonderful lesson. So thank you so much, Nirupma, for sharing. Yes, common goal is the key. So everyone when heading towards one common goal is achievable. Thank you so much, Nirupma, for sharing. Let's have a round of applause for Nirupma as well. By the way, you yourself can applaud too when you are unmuted. So never mind. So yeah. So anyone on the screen we are left with? So yeah, Archita, what was your learning while?
Overall, that was the good experience, and I learned how to, as a team member, how to work together and coordinate with your team members. And I can say that was the self-organized team.
Wow, wonderful, very powerful learning, Archita. So you can applaud for yourself and others can join too. Thank you so much. So yeah, who else is remaining? Sushna, are you done sharing? I think you are done.
Sneha.
Yeah.
Sneha.
Sneha. So in this entire process, what did you learn? I think you added already. Sneha, you can unmute. What was your experience? You are talking on mute, I guess. Sneha,
No,
can you?
yeah. I said that we had the hiccups and we successfully overcame it.
Yes,
that's what I mean.
So that's what. So we all are done. So thank you so much, Prerna. Over to you. We all have shared something. So if you want to add something, if you have any question to ask with all of participants.
Yes. No. First of all, I actually wanted to appreciate and congratulate everybody for their collaborated efforts. So that is what it takes to be in a team and to work as a team. So I'll just request everyone to clap for themselves and clap for everyone with whom they are working. So I think we should have a round of applause for everyone. Please.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself and you can clap. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Because yes, thank you so much. It's my pleasure because I have been reading the messages. You guys, some of you couldn't be on time, but you were like, hey, you go ahead, I'll join at this time. This thing suitable. I think we should focus more on the problem and not the solution and all those. I mean, it was such a great session to go through as a viewer, to look at your contribution, Benson taking the lead, I don't want to take any single name, but everybody, Mehul, Nadeem, Archana, Sanchit, I mean, everybody was so involved in the process. And I was like, yes, this is taking shape. And this is how it would be when you go to any organization, when you work as a team, when you have people from variety of different backgrounds and different understanding, different experience. It's a great thing to learn and to experience. So this is like a demo for that real life experience, and I think you're making the best of it. So to be very honest, I'm very glad the way things are shaping up, and really excited to see the outcome of it, the BRD FSD. Along with that, today's session, guys, I want to highlight uh, the overall domain details which Gaurav has shared, BRD, FSD, other functionality we discussed are very essential. They're very important. So please rewatch this video. If you have any doubts, do reach out to us, message on, in next session, because we are coming towards the end and we really want you to have the grip of on the all the understanding and functionalities. So yes, that's it from my side. I'm really, really glad to see the progress. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Over to
so
you,
much,
Gaurav.
Prerna. I'm happy that you are glad. So yeah,
Yes.
I'm quickly, before wrapping up and closing the window, I'm going to ask you to share what are you feeling right now? So you can just tag a name to your feeling. So Nirupma, you are on the screen first. So what is your feeling right now? What are you feeling?
Feeling excited.
Excited. Thank you so much. Nadeem, what are you feeling?
Energetic.
Energetic. Thank you so much. Nadeem, Radha, how is your experience? What are you feeling?
I have a feeling that I can do it this task
Wow,
in
wonderful.
future.
Thank you so much, Radha. Archita, what are you feeling?
Yes, I can do it.
Okay, you are feeling also, you can do it. Benson,
Yes.
what is your experience? What are you feeling right now?
Happy.
Happy. Okay, thank you so much. Sushana, what are you feeling right now?
Yeah, excited, but still
Excited.
some more doubts.
Okay, so doubts is not a feeling. Excited is a feeling. Doubt will be cleared anyway. So thank you so much, Sushana. So we'll talk about it in the next session. Yeah, Mike, what are you feeling right now?
Morale is boosting up, highly motivated.
Highly motivated. Thank you so much. Sneha, I know it's second day or third day for you. What are you feeling right now?
I guess me too excited.
Okay, thank you so much. And I am equally excited and motivated to serve you further. So thank you so much for contributing your time. I'm really happy for you the way you have come so far. Benson or Suchana. So Benson, you can share the link or the document with us, what you have prepared, so that we can just go through and have a check that how it has evolved. So yeah, thank you so much for your time, contribution, and you are doing amazing. We'll talk to you soon on Sunday night, 8:45 p.m.
So,
So
Gaurav, do you want to see now? I can share because it's with me now.
no, don't share. You just share it on the group, okay, on the BAQS Scrum group, and we will pick it up from there and we will just look at it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. And I wish you all the wonderful time and good night to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good night and good
Bye.
morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.